Welcome to another video. My name is Jack, and today I will be listing off and ranking my 10 favorite movies of all time. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. What are your favorite movies of all time? Be sure to comment in the section down below. I have just loved movies my whole life, so this felt like a video I just had to make. And remember that this is a personal list, so we may disagree on some things, but that doesn't mean we can't get along. These will be in ascending order, starting at 10, working my way up to 1, so be sure to stick around to the end of the video to see what movie takes my top spot. Coming in at number 10, we have Moana. One of my favorite Disney movies of all time for the way it perfectly balances action sequences with musical numbers. The characters in here are just astounding. Moana, our protagonist, is awesome, and I really relate to her desire for, going beyond the reef and maybe wanting to explore the world a little more. I think that's something that anyone can relate to. Maui, played by The Rock, is one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. He's really funny and has a really great character arc as well. The grandma is such an amazing character, and I really love her relationship with Moana. And Tamatoa, the giant crab, played by Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. He's awesome and sings the hilarious song Shiny, which I really love. The whole soundtrack is fire. How Far I'll Go is impossible to not sing along with. And You're Welcome is just an amazing song and really makes me think that The Rock should record a full studio album. It's so good. There's several moments in the movie that either give me the chills or make me cry, so it had to make this top 10 list. At number 9, we have the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the original from 2004, a movie I've seen countless times and is just a personal classic for me. SpongeBob and Patrick are my favorite friendship duo in all of fiction, and this is their bromance at its absolute peak. There are several moments in this movie that always have me dying with laughter, such as SpongeBob and Patrick getting drunk off of ice cream, the hilarious scene in the Tough Guy bar, and an amazing cameo from David Hasselhoff. But it's also got a genuinely good story with this great message that sometimes there's just nothing wrong with being a kid. And as I've gotten older, that's something that's really resonated with me even more with every rewatch. Also, let us not forget the greatest moment in all of cinema. R.I.P. Steve Hillenburg. He made the childhoods of so many kids so fun and so awesome. Filling up the number 8 spot, we have a movie that came out in 2023, and that is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Truly one of the greatest comic book films ever made. It's more than a basic animated adventure. It's a deep, complex, cinematic masterpiece with great character relationships and a beautiful art style that makes every frame a work of art. Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy is an obvious standout. Those scenes with her dad are amazing, both visually and emotionally. Then there's Miles, the star of the show. He's truly an amazing character. On one end, you have his mom telling him he's an amazing person and that he should feel welcome anywhere. But then on the other end, you have Miguel telling him he's a mistake that isn't supposed to exist, and wherever he goes, he's just an anomaly. But Miles takes what his mom taught him and uses it to stand up to Miguel in the entire multiverse, and it's just an awesome scene all around. I think Spider-Punk, Hobie Brown, is a really cool character, the Spot is an awesome villain, and the movie score by Daniel Pemberton is probably my favorite film score of all time. It's just so cool. At lucky number 7, we have the Angry Birds movie, a movie that most of you probably haven't thought of since 2016, if at all, but I think about this movie every day. I've seen it more times than any movie ever. I rewatch it every month or so, and it gets better every time. Red, played by Jason Sudeikis, is a character I relate to a lot as someone who's struggled with anger issues and maybe might have some trouble fitting in sometimes. But he has this really great character arc that really resonates with me, and there's a bunch of awesome moments in there for sure. Leonard, played by Bill Hader, is a hilarious villain and one of my favorite antagonists of all time. And then Chuck and Bomb are really funny characters too. I love how the animation style of this movie really brings the Angry Birds game to life. And this kind of paved the way for future video game adaptations like Sonic the Hedgehog and the Super Mario movie to absolutely kick butt at the box office. The Heitor Penrira score in this movie is just absolutely amazing to listen to, and it gives me the chills just humming a few bars of it. So if you're not sold on this movie, go listen to the song Home Tweet Home. It's amazing. Landing just outside of the top 5 is Star Wars Episode 6 Return of the Jedi from 1983. Truly a classic masterpiece of a movie. To most people, Star Wars at its peak is The Empire Strikes Back because of the sheer impact of the Darth Vader plot twist. But to me, I think Vader and Luke's dynamic gets much more interesting after the plot twist, when we see how Luke reacts to learning his father is the Dark Lord of the Sith, and we see him try to redeem him, confront the Emperor, and become the Jedi he was meant to be. Anakin's redemption is the true climax to the Star Wars saga, according to George Lucas, and that scene where he throws the Emperor down the massive hole is just totally awesome, not to mention his awesome death scene where he gets to see his son's face one last time.
I'll not leave you here. I've got to save you.
You already have.
I love the whole action sequence on Jabba's sail barge. The final battle at the end with all the spaceships attacking the Death Star is really cool. And the Ewoks are great. Like, come on, who doesn't love Ewoks? Jumpstarting the top 5, we have Kung Fu Panda 2, the second movie in my favorite animated franchise ever. The art style and action sequences here really stand out, and this was DreamWorks at its peak. Poe, played by Jack Black, is an amazing character here and one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I just love his arc of moving on from the losses of the past in order to be a good person in the present, and it just teaches a really great message. The flashbacks with his mom always make me cry, and I love how the Furious Five is there for him during all of it, and we really get to see him and Tigress's friendship at its absolute strongest. Lord Shen, played by Gary Oldman, is an awesome villain that's always scared the crap out of me. He's so hateable and so frightening, even at age 15. I think he's awesome. Not to mention the amazing score by the Masters, Hans Zimmer, and John Powell. It's just awesome. In fourth place, we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Never have I been more excited for any movie ever than I was for this back in 2021. Seeing Tobey Maguire again, the greatest Spider-Man of all time, that was just a dream come true. And Andrew Garfield's awesome here and has a great redemption. The senior Spideys get Tom Holland through this devastating loss in a way that nobody else can, and it's really great to see the three of them form this really strong brotherhood. Tom Holland's Peter having to say goodbye to his two best friends because it's what he has to do to save them is devastating and really showcases the tragedy of the Spider-Man character in a phenomenal way. The coffee shop scene at the very end is just amazing, and there's some great villains throughout the whole movie as well. This is a movie that will never lose its magic, and it's crazy for me to think that this came out 2 whole years ago. Taking the bronze medal, we have my favorite movie of 2023, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the perfect conclusion to an amazing trilogy. James Gunn and the Guardians characters are the reason I love superhero movies, so it was really hard for me to say goodbye to this franchise that I grew up with. High Evolutionary is just such a good, pure evil, maniacal villain, and I really like what he does for Rocket's character arc. The whole story of Batch 89 can make me cry just by thinking of it, and to see how much Rocket goes through and how much the Guardians are there for him through the whole movie is just an amazing thing. Star-Lord getting over Gamora really jumps out at me because Peter Quill is my favorite film character of all time, so to see his story so satisfyingly concluded means a lot. I really love what they do with Drax and Mantis. Even Nebula has her moments to shine. The soundtrack is amazing with songs like Dog Days Are Over and Do You Realize, and the hallway fight scene to No Sleep Till Brooklyn is my favorite fight scene of all time, just because the one-take action is so cool. James Gunn is truly an amazing filmmaker, and I am over the moon pumped for Superman Legacy. Taking away the silver medal, we have the Lego Movie, a film that came out in 2014 and absolutely changed my life. This is probably my most quoted movie of all time, and I reference it on a daily basis. I really love how this turns old brick films into a full 90-minute movie, and there's really nothing else like it. At a glance, it looks like a big commercial, but when you sit down to watch it, it's a 3-dimensional artistic masterpiece that teaches this great message of everyone being special. This is what's made me want to be a filmmaker, and after I saw this, I started making my own brick films with the stop-motion app on my dad's phone, and though they're not very good, I had an absolute blast making them. This has permanently cemented Chris Pratt as my favorite actor and Lord and Miller as my favorite directors. I could just go on and on and on about how much I love this movie, but this video would get too long, so I'm actually saving that for a 10-year anniversary video of the Lego Movie coming early February. Stay tuned for it. Finally, taking the #1 spot as my favorite movie of all time, the gold medal goes to WreckIt Ralph because he's a hero. I don't see any movie being as simply perfect as WreckIt Ralph. I've loved it since 2012, and it's pretty immovable as number one. Countless other animated movies have tried the whole monster protagonist thing, and though many have done it well, none have made you feel as bad for the guy as much as WreckIt Ralph does. Ralph and Vanellope are just these misunderstood kindred spirits that form this great friendship that you can't help but root for. In the broken go-kart scene, there's like nothing more powerful. It's this perfect story of accepting your flaws and being the way that you are is enough as long as you have amazing people to spend your time with. And When Can I See You Again by Owl City is an awesome song. Gen Z nostalgia at its absolute peak. He's one of my favorite musical artists of all time. WreckIt Ralph's just a guy I really want to be friends with. I want to give him a fist bump so bad, and just seeing his picture in the Wish credits instantly made me happy. So that's my list for my top 10 favorite movies of all time. What did you think of this video? Do you want to see more videos like this? What are your favorite movies of all time? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to respond to anything you have to say about this video. As always, remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Be sure to send this link around to anybody you think would get a kick out of my list. Until next time, YouTube, see you on the flip side.